I'd like to call to order the public comment period for the fiscal budget for 23-24. If you haven't signed in at the back and would like to speak, please do so now. If I see no one going, Commissioner Marlowe, would you mind bringing me that sheet off of that table? As we talk about tonight's public comment period, it is restricted to the budget for this coming fiscal year. Commissioners are here in part to hear that. We do ask, as the rules of the commission has been, that there be no signs in the commission room, that the cheering or clapping, if you could, we do not try not to do that if we can keep from that. And if someone else has already spoke on whatever you are going to say, then you're welcome to yield to them. It is a 3-minute limit, but we ask that you address the commission. They will not really respond in public comment period. You probably know that, but just kind of set those parameters out for you. And I don't think I've forgotten anything else. So if we could, we will get started. And the first one on my list is Miss Brittany. Miss Brittany Hilton. I may mess my names up here, so be with me. Bear with me. If you state your name and address for the record, please, and pull the mic down so they can hear you good.
Hi, my name's Brittany Orbert Hilton, Allsdale Road, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Thank you, everybody, for all of your time and responses to my emails and texts over the last few days. I'm here to talk about the petition I sent everyone about the teacher raises and the property tax increases to give them teacher
Can you
raises.
put the microphone in front of you?
Yes, sorry. Is this any better? Is it on?
Is it on?
It is on, yes. Just talk a little louder if you can, Miss Brittany, okay?
That's a challenge. Okay.
It's okay.
All right. So I've sent everybody the online petition of 675 Wilson County residents who support a 7-cent tax increase for a 5% teacher raise. I've heard a lot of arguments as to why that's not very popular at this time, but my main goal for this petition was to just show that there is support amongst the community for a property tax increase for our teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Brittany. Next I have, I won't think it's ENN-MA or MCCRE. Yes, sorry, it is Miss Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Erin Moore. I live in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I'm here to ask that the board consider an additional 5% raise requested in the school needs assessment and to put it to a vote. The reasoning that I've heard for not considering this raise didn't seem to quite pass muster. The 5% raise worked into the budget by the school board was from state funds, and it was worked in with the budget that they already had. So I think that it's reasonable to at least consider that 2% that you have given the rest of county employees as the county's share of increasing our already deficit teacher pay. A property tax to cover this makes sense, and it seems reasonable with inflation. Everything else has gone up. It makes sense that our taxes should go up too. We pay more for everything else. You cannot have stagnant taxes and continue to pay for the things and the services that our county requires. Property owners on fixed incomes can apply for assistance through the state. It's my understanding that agricultural landowners can adjust how their property is taxed. So if it's being used for agriculture, it wouldn't be taxed at at full market value. We're losing teachers. This is really important. I know that I, among many other people, moved to Wilson County specifically for the school district. Like, this is what we looked at. This is why our property values have gone up. And if we continue to lose our educators because we are not paying them appropriately, we will not have the property values that we all now enjoy. So it makes sense that we pay a little bit more for the property that we own. And I ask that you at least put it to a vote tonight, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sayre. Next, Amber Austin.
Amber Austin. I live in Paddock Place neighborhood near Green Hill High School. I'm a parent, and I'm also requesting the increase for the teachers. I have 2 children in the Wilson County schools, one starting high school and one in 3rd grade. The high schooler, I love this town and this county, and I love that they have so many more opportunities for classes than I did in high school. And, they even have classes that can go geared towards whatever occupation you'd like to do after high school. And my soon-to-be 9th grader decided he would like to try culinary. And I got an email last week that the culinary first level class has been taken off the board, and the hospitality, which is another class because there's no teacher. And I also have a son that's about to be in 3rd grade. We had COVID kindergarten, we had hybrid 1st grade, and he had a sub the entire grade of 2nd, and now we have to worry about the 3rd grade retention. And he's had no solid teacher since he started school. So thankfully he's a smart kid, but he's not, his entire class had to deal with the same thing. So I'm definitely for an increase. Our town is beautiful, and I hate to think that people are trying to get away when we should have people lining up to, fill in our schools. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stephanie Hall.
Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I am a teacher in Wilson County, and I can talk in front of kids all day long, but talking in front of you guys, I'm really nervous. So here we go. I'm here to talk about teacher raises. I wanted to shed some light on some of the things that teachers do prior to being in a classroom and how much it truly costs to become a teacher before paychecks are even in hand. For example, teachers are a 4-year degree. Teachers are unpaid when they're going through student teaching. That's 16 weeks. Teachers have to also pay for exams such as EdTPA, which is $300, and praxis exams, which are up to $1,500, again, all unpaid, before taking a highly qualified position. Teachers should not have to rely on spouse income in order to afford a living wage. 2023 is the highest COLA increase of 8.7% since 1981. So federal raises are averaging 8.7 to meet cost of living. We have quite a bit to catch up in order for our teachers to be able to survive on their own. Sorry. A good teacher can impact the area with millions of dollars in return, because we touch all of our kids' lives. They're the ones that are going to be our future, and they are our future as far as what the impact for businesses and their job skills. I don't have that available for you guys tonight, but if you wanted to, I do have that information on how much a teacher impacts the growth return. School systems are also what bring in our businesses to come and be in a county that's supported by growth. So Chewy and other businesses are coming here because we are showing growth. And growth is also impacted by teachers and our education system. As also a parent in our system, we chose Wilson County for moving from Arizona. Our other option was Williamson County. We couldn't afford it. So Wilson County was the next best. We came here. We have excellent teachers. $50,000 by the school year of 2026-27 is the floor that our governor has set. Wilson County has quite a ways to close that gap. I would love to see raises reconsidered. Thank you.
Thank you. Nicole Hobbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nicole, and I am the mother of a few children in the Wilson County school system. Now, before I begin, I really wish it wasn't so, but I do feel the need to let you all know that I am part of the Republican Party, and I say this to you because I don't want you to just hear me. I want you to listen to me. As of right now, Tennessee currently ranks 33 out of 50 states when it comes to education. 33. There has been a lot of talk recently about how books in our schools are affecting our children. But honestly, what do you guys think is going to happen if we have poor teachers in the classroom? When it comes to teachers, you get what you pay for. If we continue with low teaching wages, we will not be getting the best teachers we can offer our children. We are talking about the young men and women who will one day run this country, run this county, run this state. Now, I know throughout history it has been the blue guys who are the biggest advocates for schools and teachers, and this is something we can change tonight. Let us show Wilson County that we, all of the red Wilson County members, care about our children and our teachers. A vote against giving our teachers a raise is essentially saying that our children's future is not worth it, that we cannot come and find the money to give them the teachers these children deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon Reed.
Hi, I'm Sean Reed. I live at 107 Creekwood Drive in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I work for the Metro Clerk's Office in Nashville, and I help track public speakers and hold the legislation. 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in the public hearing tracking the speakers, and I know what you're going through right now, listening to all of us, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much. 10 years ago, my husband and I moved to Mount Juliet from Nashville. A huge factor in that decision was Wilson County School District. It was one of the best in the state and definitely better than Davidson County's. We were on the brink of finalizing the adoption of our daughter. She is a 10-year-old rising fifth grader at Elsie Patton Elementary. She has had dedicated teachers, school counselors, and support staff every step of the way. But the turnover is alarming. We cannot maintain one of the best districts in the state if we don't pay our staff appropriately. Teachers, subs, support staff, counselors, bus drivers, janitors, they need the support and they need the respect. Wilson County is not the only district, municipality, county, jurisdiction dealing with these issues. And I have heard this in Nashville the way you are hearing it here. I haven't had to make those decisions, and I know you are wrestling with how to raise the money and how to pay the teachers and where to rob Peter to pay Paul. The schools, though, are here for my daughter, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your nieces, for your nephews. I hear people who don't have children in the school system say, "It's not my problem." Those are sometimes the same people who drive through the drive-thru and say, "Why can't they make change?" If we want decent bridges built, you've got to have a good K through 12 education to get into college. Someday, these children that aren't my daughter may be taking care of me in a nursing home. I want them well educated. They'll be my doctors, they'll be my engineers, they'll be my plumbers. I want them well educated. And my daughter deserves good. She deserves better. She deserves the best. and she deserves well-paid, well-respected teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I messed your name up, Ms. Shaw. Seeing no other names on the list, then we will close public comment period. We'll start the commission back up at 7 p.m. Public comment is closed. I'd like to call to order the Wilson County Commission meeting of June the 19th, 2023. Hey, Mike, hey, can you help me? Thank you. It helps me a lot. Welcome all of our guests that are here tonight, and encourage you to come back any opportunity that you have that you can be with us. This time I will turn it over to Commissioner Bowman for our prayer and pledge for tonight.
Good evening, commissioners and citizens. Tonight I'm joined by my two sons, Ty and Dylan, for the prayer and the pledge. Ty is a rising 7th grader, and he's going to lead us in our prayer tonight, so if you'll please rise.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we pray to you that everything goes smooth tonight and that we make decisions with faith and wisdom. Please protect our teachers, deputies, and first responders. And we pray that everyone has a good and safe night. Amen.
Amen. And my youngest son, Dylan, who's a rising 5th grader, will lead us in our pledge tonight, if you'll please address the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowman. How you doing? Good job. Thank you, Commissioner Bowman, and thank you, men, for being a part of this. Please, if you will, at this time, press yes on your panel to record your presence at tonight's meeting. – 24 present, 1 absent, and I know where Mr. Clark is at. Report from Steering Committee, Commissioner Fields.
The Steering Committee of the County Commission of Wilson County, Tennessee met in regular session on Thursday, June the 8th, 2023 in the upstairs conference room at the Wilson County Courthouse. A copy of those minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
Second. Got a motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Adoption of the agenda. Commissioner Fields.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the agenda be accepted and filed.
Motion. Got a motion and second. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. I see no consent agenda tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
Special recognition at this time, Commissioner Costley.
What do you think they're out in the hallway? West Wilson Middle School. West Wilson, come on.
Add her up.
Sorry, sir. Is this all of them? All here. All right. Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, honoring the West Wilson Middle School softball team tonight. Whereas the West Wilson Middle School softball team finished this season with an overall 2-year season record of 63 wins and 9 losses. Whereas this team of talented young women had an outstanding year from both an offensive and pitching standpoint. And whereas on offense, the team finished the year with a .433 batting average, .526 on base percentage, 311 runs scored, 795 plate appearances, and only 42 strikeouts. I could carry that on in high school. Whereas for pitching, these ladies ended the year with a batting average against them of only .232, with 151 strikeouts, averaging 1.2 per innings, allowing only 47 earned runs. The team finished the year with an earned run average of .255 And whereas to top off an outstanding season, these ladies secured the middle school softball state championship for the first time ever. And whereas the members of the Lady Wildcat girls softball team included Kendall Butcher, Kaylee Glover, Jewel Hale, Jordan Hawkins, Avery Martin, Hadley Rayburn, Marley Schaefer, Ainsley Bright, Zoe's Butler, is that how I say that? Yep. Okay. Ashlyn Elliott, Maddie Finney, Molly Jo Tigner, Nida Zerfus, Abigail Brand, Belle Fidelson, London Lott, Hannah Stewart, Hayden Mish, Miley Norman, Aubrey Ryan, and Lexi Schott. There's a shoot. We missed an O in there. Whereas this team was coached by Ricky Heyman, Sean Stewart, and Lauren Gray. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that this resolution be presented to the head coach, Ricky Heyman, and each member of the team and coaching staff for display at West Wilson Middle School in recognition of the outstanding season of the West Wilson Middle School Ladies Wildcat softball team. Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
My name is Ainsley Bright.
What position?
I played first base.
My name's Jewel Hale. I was a pitcher.
My name's Kendall Butcher, and I was a catcher. Hadley Rayburn in third base.
Hannah Stewart and I played second base.
You gonna say anything?
I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, coaches. Congratulations.
Same man. All right, let's welcome the Green Hill Hawks softball team. Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, honoring the Green Hill High School softball team. Whereas the Green Hill High School softball team finished this season on a 40-game win streak with an overall record of 42 wins and 2 losses. They beat us 3 times. Whereas this team had 11 wins against 2023 state tournament teams and went undefeated against district opponents. And whereas this team outscored its opponents by an outstanding 333-90. Whereas this team was ranked number 1 in the mid-state for large class and number 1 for all classes and divisions in the entire state of Tennessee. And whereas finishing the year as state champions, this team has won many titles such as Brentwood Invitational Champions, Raptor Classic Champions, Wilson County Invitational Champions, District 9 4A Regular Season Champions, District 9 4A Tournament Champions, Regional Champions, Sectional Champions, and Division 1 4A State Champions. Very good. Whereas team members Avery Stockwell and Emily LeGrand were District 9 4A co-MVPs. And whereas the members of the Lady Green Hill High School softball team included Cadence Jarrett, Savannah Wilson, Avery Stockwell, Alex Frost, Addie Grace Snyder, Emily LeGrand, Malia Wilkins, Sophia Waters, Alex Cass, Reagan Tuck, Maddie McIntyre, P.K. Barnes, Miranda Brundage, Lockhart Boyle, Lily Buckley, Kendall Davis, Chesney Whipker, Lowry Bachweg, Olivia Swerick, J.C. Dixon, Parker Herron, Bella Waters, Lindsay Rich, and Ellie Swallows. And whereas this team was coached by head coach Savannah Sanders, one of my former players, assistant coaches Hannah Alexander, another former player, and Brandon Hill. Brandon, you're the wrong sex. You didn't play for me. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that this resolution be presented to head coach Savannah Sanders and each member of the team and coaching staff for display at Green Hill High School in recognition of the outstanding season of the state champion Green Hill High School softball team.
Move to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Didn't come in till late. Savannah Sanders was also named Coach of the Year in the state of Tennessee. Wow.
I'm Sophia Waters.
Position? What's your position?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm Maddie McIntyre. I'm the first baseman. I'm Lily Buckley, and I play second.
I'm Parker Herron, and I'm a pitcher.
I'm Maddie Gray Snyder, and I play outfield.
I'm Alex Frost, and I'm a catcher.
I'm Reagan Tuck, and I play outfield. I'm PK Barnes, and I'm a pitcher.
I'm Bella Waters, and I play short.
I'm Malia Wilkins, and I play right field. I'm Tracy Whipka, and I play left field. I'm Larry Balkwig, and I play first base. I'm Kendall Davis, and I play outfield.
I'm the assistant coach, Brennan Hill.
I'm the head coach, Savannah Sanders, and I just want to thank you guys for having us out tonight. It really does mean a lot, and to be able to represent our county the way we have, it's tremendous, and to have the support that we've had, it really does mean a lot to us and our kids.
Good job, coach.
Congratulations, ladies. State championships are hard to come by. Thank you, Commissioner Costa. This time we'll introduce Commissioner Chandler and Commissioner Hobbs to the front.
All right, good evening, everyone. We have the honor of recognizing Rehab 23. I see some of them are in the crowd if y'all want to join us. I know you're not as wild as the last group. And you might be a little bit different in age, but I know you have plenty of energy, so join me up here. Commissioner Hobbs and I have the honor of recognizing this fine group up here. They've been serving Wilson County for 10 years, our first responders. When we need them to help us out, we just give them a call and they respond out to lengthy scenes that we're on and help us out in whatever way they can. I've sat in the back of their ambulance before and warmed up. They've provided food, coffee, whatever they can just to make it a little bit better for our police officers, firefighters, EMS, all of our first responders in Wilson County, Tennessee, and we are grateful for what y'all do for us. So I'm going to read this here. It says, whereas the Wilson County Professional Firefighters Union 4238 recognized the need to support our first responders as they work in emergency situations. The union purchased a used ambulance to be a viable rehab unit dedicated to Wilson County. Sometime later in June of 2013, the organization, now known as Rehab 23, separated from the union and became an independent 501c3. And whereas responders serve 8 first responder agencies in Wilson County by providing coffee, snacks, and other such items to emergency personnel as they engage in emergency situations. Agencies served include WEMA, Wilson County Sheriff, Mount Juliet Fire, Mount Juliet Police, Lebanon Fire, Lebanon Police, Watertown Fire, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Whereas Rehab 23 is governed by a board of directors consisting of President Lynn Yeager, Vice President of Operations Bob Pergler, Treasurer Andy Street, Secretary Gus Timbers, and other board members include Wayne Hudspeth, Lance Howe, Shannon Cooper, and General Counsel Lisa Tomlinson. And whereas rehab responders have grown from just a few of 40-plus volunteers whose mission is simple, to provide needed support to the 800-plus first responders in Wilson County on a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365-day-a-year basis. And whereas volunteers log approximately 2,000 hours per year between emergency call-outs, supporting training, exercises, and fundraising events like the Tennessee State Wilson County Fair. And whereas in 2020, as a result of the tornado, Rehab 23 worked alongside first responders for 12 days on duty and for 12 days providing meals to first responders both locally and from across the mid-state. During this time, the organization provided over 4,000 meals and logged over 1,200 hours, earning them the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Public Servant of the Year Award. And whereas volunteer efforts will continue for Rehab 23 this June, as they will provide 3 meals a day to the first responders working the Nashville Superspeedway NASCAR event for the 3rd consecutive year. And whereas Rehab 23 continues to be a financially viable and valuable partner with all Wilson County first responder agencies, and it's fitting to honor and recognize their 10th year anniversary. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Wilson County Board of Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that we designate July 13, 2023 as Rehab 23 Day in recognition of the outstanding service and support of the volunteers of Rehab 23. We thank them for volunteering their time in the service of others.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
The simplest way to describe our group is that we're the first responders for the first responders. We have a very simple mission statement, and Commissioner Chandler read that, and that is to provide needed support to the 800-plus first responders in Wilson County on a 24/7, 365 basis. With our 10th anniversary coming up, we're proud to say that over that 10 years, we've not missed a call. We have over 40 first responders. 100% of the group are volunteers. We've had support from this commission over the past years through the Health and Welfare Committee that help us fund our insurance needs. We do need responders in the eastern part and southern part of the county. It's a long way from the western border to get over here or to get all the way down to Watertown or beyond. We're proud that, as was stated, that we were the 2020 Public Servant of the Year named by the Lebanon-Wilson Chamber, and that to a great degree related to our activities during the tornado. So thank you very much.
Thank you all. We definitely thank you for your service to our county and our servicemen. I believe we have, Mr. Lynn, free ice cream at your place tonight? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay. Thank you both for honoring these men. This time, we'll move forward with a public hearing for 2 rezonings that we have tonight. I'll ask Mr. Tom Brashears to come forward, our planner, to direct us in that. I need a motion to go out of session.
Motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. We'll turn it over to Mr. Tom Brashears.
Good evening. I hope each of you have enjoyed your Juneteenth holiday. With that, I will proceed with public hearing notice. A public hearing will be held before the Wilson County Commission on Monday, June 19th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or thereafter in the County Commission Room of the Wilson County Courthouse located here at 228 East Main Street in Lebanon, Tennessee, to hear comments on the following application. Application has been made by Joe Haddix on behalf of property owner Susan Gibson, requesting to have property rezoned from A1 agricultural to R1 rural residential. The property is located at 724 Bradshaw Road and contains approximately 17.78 acres. The property is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 26, Parcel 67.01. A copy of this request has been on file in the Wilson County Development Services Office here in the Planning Division downstairs in Room 5 and has been available for inspection during regular business hours. The rezoning request will be heard on final reading by the County Commission following the public hearing. Anyone desiring to comment on this request may come forward at this time.
If you're here and want to speak on the property of 724 Bradshaw Road at this time, just step forward to the podium in the back, state your name and address for the record, please. Anyone here to speak on this property?
Hello, my name is Betty Johnstone, and I live at 722 Heritage Road. My property backs up to that Bradshaw property, and I have a problem in my yard with water runoff with it not being developed at all now, and I'm very concerned about what will happen to that water runoff if you put up to 19 homes on that property. I'd like to see it not developed at all, but I realize I don't have any say in that. But I would like to see it not have numerous, like 20 homes on it, other than just the ones they could put on it as A1 and not be passed to zone to R1. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak from 724? Seeing none, we'll move forward with the public comment period and move to the second rezoning.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, a public hearing will be held before the County Commission on Monday, June 19th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or thereafter here in the County Commission Room located at 228 East Main Street in Lebanon, Tennessee, to hear comments on the following application. Application has been made by Shelley Cole, representing JAMS, J-A-M-S Investment Group. They have made application to rezone 5760 Highway 109 North from its current C3 highway commercial zoning to C2 general commercial zoning. The property contains approximately 1.78 acres and is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 33, Parcel 45. Again, a copy of this request has been on file in the Planning Division downstairs in this courthouse and has been available for inspection during regular business hours. The rezoning request will be heard on final reading by the County Commission following the public hearing. Anyone desiring to comment may come forward at this time.
If you're here and would like to speak on 5760 Highway 109, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Shelley Cole. My residential address is 9120 Brooks Crossing. I am one of the property owners there at 5760, and I just want to give you a little bit of our thoughts about what we would like to do with the property before you vote tonight. We purchased this property on the corner in partnership with the owners that have the property right next door that's touching this property. So we purchased it really just to make it a rental property for a commercial rental property. Once we put it on LoopNet, we've gotten numerous calls about this, and we've just kind of taken our time to make a choice. Mike and Amy Weiss, who own the property that's touching it, they're trying to be very conscious about what we put there and want to make a big positive impact to that area. So for our short list, we have decided either on a medical service, which is a pediatric therapy clinic that includes like physical therapy, occupational therapy for children, or a premier dog kennel and boarding area or business, or a hair salon that's also wanting to have retail services there, which would include a boutique and skincare services. So with those three things, we felt like we need the C2 rezoning, so we we would just ask for your positive vote tonight.
Thank you for those comments. Anyone else wishing to speak on this property? Seeing other public comment, we will close public comment period. I need a motion to go back into session.
Go back to session.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Tom?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following application for rezoning of property will be presented to the full county commission at this time. The application has been submitted by Joe Haddix on behalf of property owner Susan Gibson, requesting to have property rezoned from A1 agricultural to R1 rural residential. The property is located at 724 Bradshaw Road and contains approximately 17.78 acres. The property is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 26, parcel 67.01. The rezoning of property request was presented to the Wilson County Planning Commission on Friday, May 19th, 2023, and is being forwarded to the Wilson County Commission without recommendation.
It's in Commissioner McFarland's district. Commissioner McFarland?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I've got a little bit of mixed emotion on that, but I'm going to have to either vote no or ask to defer it. Mr. Haddock, I don't see him here. Is he here?
I do not see Mr. Jones.
Let me just share with the commission, we don't have this up on the screen, but if you look at the, can you put it on the screen? No? At any rate, if you look what's in your packet and see the houses on Heritage Road, right behind those houses, it always floods. There's a shallow water drain behind it. This drain also comes off of this property and confluences with that behind those houses on Heritage Road. I was going to ask Mr. Haddock if he could, and I understand he's going to put a containment system pond, something there to contain it to keep it from running in, but I don't see him here, and I would like for him to be here and tell us that, yes, he can contain the water coming off of that so it won't affect the existing neighbors. I'd like to defer it for 30 days to the next meeting to let Mr. Haddock come and explain to the entire committee. That's my motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Now discussion. Commissioner Weathers?
Can you tell me what your recommendation was to the Planning Commission?
I believe it was for a recommendation for approval because it was low-density residential.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments before we vote on defer? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? All in favor to defer, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the record reflect it was unanimous.
One point before we get to this case, this would be affected by the recent zoning density change. I believe if they got the R1 zoning, they would be approximately entitled to 15 lots, 14 to 15 lots. If they do not get it, it'll be more like 7 or 8 because it'll be 2-acre density.
I'd like for Joe Haddock to be here at the next meeting, Tom, so you could...
Sure, that's fine.
Sure, thank you.
I'm not arguing with you about that.
Sure,
Just
understand.
want to let you know sort of what the impact of the density amendment was. The other thing that we have on the agenda is an application for rezoning of property that will be presented to the full county commission tonight, as applied for by Shelley Cole, representing JAMS Investment Group. They've made application to rezone 5760 Highway 109 North from C3 Highway Commercial to C2 General Commercial. The property contains 1.78 acres and is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 33, Parcel 45. The rezoning of the property request was presented to the Wilson County Planning Commission on Friday, May 19th, and is being forwarded to the Wilson County Commission with a positive recommendation.
This is in Commissioner Bernard's district. Commissioner, how do you feel?
Yeah, Tom, I was, I guess about a year or so ago, we zoned this C3, correct?
That's correct.
On some of this stuff, I hadn't heard from anybody on it as far as the applicant, and I called Ms. Shelley today, and she called me back and said there was 3 or 4 things that she mentioned that they potentially wanted to do, but that opens us up pretty good on that. I'm just scared down through Highway 109 with everything going on. Most of that in the area is C3, correct?
Yes, sir. The other non-government owned corners at Northern Road and Highway 109 are zoned C3, with the exception of one just to the south of this particular property that was actually rezoned at the same time to limited office commercial, and I believe there's an insurance agency or something like that in that. This one was zoned to C3 approximately a year ago. At the same time,
You said the insurance, that's the LOC, right?
That's a limited office.
Yeah,
commercial.
right.
And everything else that's commercial, that is C3.
I'm just afraid out in that area, because I represent a lot of that 109 area, that if I start doing C2 for this, it's just going to open up, because I have people all the time calling wanting to buy this to get its own this. So I'm going to make a recommendation that we deny this.
Second. I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this? Commissioner Gentry?
What is the difference? Can you give us a quick rundown, C3 to C2?
C3 is a pretty wide open, high-intensity commercial district that's intended on serving highway commercial uses. It can be gas stations, it can be
that's the three.
Mechanics, things like that. That's the C3 that they currently have. It can be anything that's allowed in C1, which would be laundromats or that type of stuff. C2 is our most general, wide-open commercial district. It has a long list of uses allowed. It also has a long list of uses on appeal that are allowed. The young lady mentioned three things. The hair salon, there may be a way to fit that into the current C3 zoning.
That's what I was going to ask.
I believe the medical facilities and the dog kennel both are either a use permitted or a use permissible on appeal in the C2 district only. They're not in the C3 district. Okay. So if that's specifically what they're after, that's why they're requesting even though it's for speculative purposes, they kind of narrowed it down. They would probably.
So they can get an exemption for the hair salon, maybe.
Maybe, but not the other two. But the other two would probably have to go through the Board of Zoning Appeals, and they're not a listed use or use on appeal in the C3 district.
Any other questions or comments on the property? Got a motion to deny on the floor and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let the record reflect it was unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Tom. Report for the Minutes Committee, Commissioner Fields.
Yes, Mayor. The Minutes Committee of the County Commission of Wilson County, Tennessee met in regular session on Thursday, June the 8th, 2023 in the upstairs conference room at the Wilson County Courthouse. A copy of those minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
Second. Got a motion to second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Reading of the minutes?
Second.
Got a motion second to dispense with reading of the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Communication from the chair. I only have one thing here. Recommendation the board is reappointing Ms. Nancy Gateline to serve a 4-year term on the Gladeville Utility District beginning July the 25th, 2023 to July the 25th, 2027. No action is really required of this since that board actually submits that person to me. I just have to read it into the minutes, and so I'm making you aware of that one. Elections and notaries, appointments. Anybody to be added to the list? Ms. Dowdy?
The list was sent out.
Got a motion to approve the notary list?
Second.
Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Library Board, you are to elect 2 members to serve a 3-year term on the Wilson County Library Board. Per the recommendation of Board Chair Commissioner Bobby Franklin, I'd like to recommend for your consideration Ms. Sue Ann Bone, Sue Ann Bone and Ms. Vaughn Barr. Candidates' information was in your packet.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Report from Emergency Management Committee, Commissioner Bernard.
EMA met Thursday, June 8th, upstairs in the conference room at after education. I make a motion we approve the minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion and second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And the Emergency Management Director's report. Commissioner Chief Newberry. A little brain dead there for a second.
That's okay. Mayor, Commissioners, just kind of brief overview where we're at currently. You do have the report for the district report and the call volume report. Obviously breaks down that with our fire, medical, and by districts. So that's in there if you have any questions on that. Just a quick update on the overall agencies. We still have about 18 vacancies currently. We have applications out now. Those close in a couple of days, maybe in the next week. We'll see where those are at. Hopefully get some folks filled in those spots. Station 3 on Clemens Road is up and operational there, and Station 10, which is Central Pipe, that should be, unless something's changed, around August 1st. So hopefully that depending on obviously construction and materials, and everybody knows all the supply chain issues. So hopefully that'll still stay on track for that. Other than that, that concludes the report. Unless anyone has any questions.
Move approved.
Second. And just discussion on that, just on Station 10, just so you'll know, the hold up on that, because they both were started at the same time, is the widening of Central Pike, and that could happen at some time in the future. And so the sewer lines, of course, have been placed in there, at least the sleeves have been across the road, so we will not have to dig up our road when the sewer actually comes through there at that time. But the water with the Glayville Utility Districts and the piping coming on that road, that is what's caused us to have some back time on that one. So as soon as that gets done, we'll be ready to roll. Any questions for me? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Mr. Newberry. Report from the Law Enforcement Committee. Commissioner Kurtz.
Law Enforcement Committee met jointly with Planning and Zoning on May 24th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Minutes are in your packet, and I move to be received and filed.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Sheriff's report, Sheriff Bryan.
Thank you, County. Thank you, Mayor, County Commissioners. The report's in your packet. A couple of highlights that I see on there is the number of calls for service is pretty much on par from last month. As far as state warrants and civil warrants, there's a big jump in them. That tells me more and more people are utilizing the court system, more people getting arrested, which reflects some of the other numbers later on down in the report, such as the jail population and also the number of people that walked into the two courthouses through our magnetometers. Almost 15,300 people walk through there, so it's a busy place over when all the courts are going on. The jail update, we are ready to move. I'm not going to tell you when, but probably the next couple of weeks. But we are planning on, we've got the occupancy and ready to go, so we will be occupying that here in the next few weeks. Inmate work bus, they continue to be out every day, all the time, picking up garbage. I know several people call me a lot, but just let me know if there's any places that need attention, and I'll gladly get them out there. SROs are out of school now. Well, I say out of school. Usually when SRO's out for the summer, we utilize that time for training and different things like that. And while they're out of school, there's a lot of summertime functions going on in schools nowadays. So we're trying to get them trained and fill in the spots where they're having these summer schools and different activities at school. So they're still staying busy. And that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Sheriff. I will update you real quick on the multi-level court system while we're here. We've had meetings and decided where everybody's going to be on those floors. Now the group has gone back and has met with almost everybody and got them to sign off on the individual space that they will be occupied, and all the judges and the clerks. Next thing that we'll have before they ever start doing anything, we'll have a joint Public Works, Law Enforcement, and Judicial Committee meeting for them to come and present those plans to you for your approval before they start drawing anything. If you make that approval, then they'll draw it up, put it out to bid, bring it back to you sometime in October or November, just so you'll know. If you have any questions or want to talk to me about that, please holler at me at any time. Report from Education Committee, Commissioner Marlowe.
Education Committee met on May 25th and June 8th. Those minutes are in your packet. Move they be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Director of Schools report. Director Jeff Luttrell, Superintendent of the Year. Congratulations. Here, here. Sir.
Thank you. I just want to say to that is a nice honor, but that's simply a reflection of our district, our teachers, and our administrators. I mean that. That's where the work goes on, in the classroom. That's what I believe. And so that is it's an honor, but it's an honor for our district. So, but do thank you for acknowledging. You do have my report in front of you, just hit a few highlights. Summer learning camps, the sheriff mentioned, is full go, 875 plus students. That will conclude June 29th. End of year enrollment numbers, finished the year at 20,114 students. That's up 515 from the previous end of school year. That's 3 years in a row that the numbers have been up. And we have already, in our projection, we're projecting the start of the school year to be about 20,130. And that is not before we start registration and new students. So we know we're expecting this number to just continue. I do want to highlight some of the accomplishments of this graduating class. You have that report, 1,870 graduates were offered $53,451,822. That's right. Look, I need to go back to math class. No. That's significant. It's up $9 million from the previous year. That includes your HOPE money. That attests to you the return you're getting on your investment in the families, and that's why people are locating here. Put it in a little more perspective, 870 graduates, 1,266 of them qualify for the HOPE Scholarship with various pathways. That's 67% of your graduating seniors secured their HOPE Scholarship. That's excellent. I do want to highlight Gulf High School, 188 graduates. They were offered $1.8 million in scholarship money to continue. And to hear some of those stories of students, we had a mother and a daughter graduate together, both of them had secured money to continue their education. So thank you for your commitment, and I just wanted to highlight that so you can see what's happening. Also in your report, you had some other scholarship winners we highlighted the schools. Included is a coordinated school health report. It's an annual report that we do annually. Just want to mention, you have the whole report. We have to provide it to the state. But when you look at that report, it gives you what our nurses are doing. 142,282 clinic visits out of the school in a year. 132,000 of those visits result in kids going back to the classroom, not missing. That's a rate of 93.2%. I can tell you from my experience, those were kids that, if you didn't have a nurse, a lot of those kids would get checked out. So I just wanted to show you what it means to have a school nurse in the building. We made that commitment several years ago. Thank you for that. Construction update, you have that in your packet. West Wilson passed by there. It's really going up. Had a meeting Wednesday, so this report, your update's up a month old. We meet this Wednesday, and I'm expecting, hopefully, to see some of the time frame start to jump a little bit. Also, portables have been in place. West Elementary, Mount Juliet, you'll start seeing them move in this week. We'll begin hooking up sewer and electric to those. Also at West, we were fixing a new basketball court, outside court, because of where we're having to set up portable. So you've seen that progress. You have our copy of our board meeting agenda, some highlights there. Board did pass the rezoning. We're ready to need to utilize our schools. We have two schools without the rezoning will be over 100% passed at the beginning of the year. And we've adjusted that. And I know it's painful. It's been a painful month for board members dealing with that. But it was necessary. And I will say, though, we'll update our utilization chart and get our September numbers in. But I can already tell you, we don't have anywhere else to move. That's just where we're at. We'll be bringing a new building to you with the bid hopefully in August, and we're not far behind the need to bring another bid. We've already looked at it. There's nowhere else to ship it, folks. We get 85-90% of all the buildings. This is a priority. And we're hoping to go to bid. We're going to go to bid July. Get that approved at the board. We'll have a special call board meeting. We'll be bringing that bid to you hopefully in August. unless we run into some kind of issue. And that'll be for the double log cabin property, and we will follow that. I will tell you, expect the first year to have the same process for Central Pike. Growth there, and we can't wait. Looking minimum of 18 months, more like 2 years, possibly 28 months to get these elementary schools ready to go. I want to point to that. That means at some point we will move teachers, of course. That'll be a whole new process. We always ask for volunteers. But as we open these new buildings, you'll shift staff. But we will be having expensive new admin as we bring on new schools. And possibly, 515, we added 12 positions, a few growth positions in our budget every year. I think it was 12 or 14 we had to use this year. That's just the norm. Right now, what's going on this summer? A lot of training going on. Admin were in last week. A lot of teachers are in training, and that will continue all summer. Summer school, a lot of dedicated people involved in that. And we'll be bringing admin back in July for another 2-day training. Doing nothing we call it the Discipline Institute, so that we make sure how we enforce our policy has been passed to the board. We're going to put an emphasis on that. Some of the behaviors we've encountered, we've got to address, and so we'll be training all of our administrators 2-day institute on how we want the discipline code to be enforced. HR, of course, is a busy time of the year. We've already hired 145 teachers. Understand these numbers fluctuate. They may have changed since I pulled them at 4 o'clock. They fluctuate constantly with applications and hires and principals making hires and recommendations. But we have hired 145. Usually we just figure 200 a year. We have about 115 openings. 39 of those are going to be new positions if the budget gets approved. We've got 26 teaching positions in that budget, 6 special education, 4 librarian positions, and some K-8 assistant principals we're adding. So these openings include, and we can't hire for those yet until we get that budget approval, that they are posted pending approval. But we have a total about 115 openings this time. We are expecting 264 new teachers in the district this year, is what we're expecting for new teacher orientation. And the concern is math, there's no applicants. There's no applicants. Very, very few applicants in Middle Tennessee. The special education applicant pool is not near enough. And also, we're starting to see English applicants go down. We should not stand here and be surprised. This has been a 3 or 4 year process, folks. The colleges were telling us 4 years ago that nobody's entered the profession. They're not entering the professions for a multitude of reasons. Pay being one of them, requirements being another, stress being another. And these are real factors in education profession. We're seeing what the colleges were telling us 3 or 4 years ago come to fruition. The applicant pool is not there. I talked to other directors around the state. We're absolutely, we're on phones. I'm calling people, hey, I know you used to teach us years ago, you're going to come to Wilson County. That's what's going on all around. I am concerned that will continue to school starts. I'm very concerned about that as we see this movement. We had over 100 permit teachers this year. Now, when you have a permit, you don't have a license, you are non-renewed, that's a requirement. Some of those will be hired back. Some of them were hired back this week. Can't find anybody to fill those positions. The state has allowed some permit process to take place. 10 years ago, when I was a principal, you didn't use the word permit in Wilson County. You couldn't get one phone call to HR and say, I've got a camp, but I want a permit. Even though the state was adamant, we didn't do it. Now we're relying upon it. You say, well, what's your plan if we have a shortage? Well, first of all, there's a state law that you can teach 1 out of area in your middle and high school grade. We don't like that. We don't do that much. But I'm just in here telling you, if there's a shortage, that's what you will be looking at. It will be looking at certification, and it's often placing a teacher where they don't want to be to meet the needs. Now, I still believe we're still getting applicants. I look every morning, one of the first things I do is I get up, how many come in last night? I can see that. That's good through the HR process. We are still receiving applicants. And our principals are working extremely hard. HR is working hard. Every resource we have available. We're reaching out, colleges, just acquaintances, professional relationships have been built. We're looking for teachers. But everybody in Middle Tennessee is looking for teachers too. We got to know that. We got to understand that. That's my report. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
No members at file. Second. Any discussion? Commissioner Breeze.
Okay. 2 questions for you. One specific. So BEP, I know, came out in 2 trenches. Typically, you had one in the summer and then one, I think, in January. But TISA, since it's enrollment-based, are there supposed to be additional funding points through the year? Meaning, if you end up with a significant number of students that enroll between August 1 and September 1, will you get a potential additional amount of money from TISA, say October?
That is possible.
Is that how it works?
Yeah,
That's what I'm understanding.
But understand, we're operating, this budget is on projections. It's not on allocation. There's still some of these rules we've not seen put in place.
Right.
I'm hoping that rolls that way, but I would not be surprised. Always traditionally, we've been a year behind.
Right.
It's like these 515 students, we didn't receive no state money for that because it was a year behind. So we'll have to see. There will be a potential of some outcome money on how our students did. And looking at our data, we think we did pretty well. I think we had another great year in Wilson County Schools. So there will be some outcome money, but we did not budget that because you can't. It's hard to budget on what you don't know what's coming in. But I told you months ago we started this process. We could have to adjust our budget up or down based on final allocations, and we're willing to do that.
Right. No, that's completely understandable. So, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Report from Public Works Committee, Commissioner Weathers.
No report.
Ag Center Management Report, Commissioner Scruggs.
Ag Center Management,
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Animal Control, Commissioner Breeze.
No report.
Audit, Commissioner Fields. No report. Commissioner Fields? Yes. Broadband Access Cable TV, Commissioner Franklin.
Yeah, the Cable TV Broadband Access Committee met Tuesday, May 16th up here in this conference room. I move these minutes be received and filed.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Commissioner Glover, I overlooked you on audit. My bad on that one. I was thinking Commissioner Clark, and he was out, so excuse me for that. Development Tourism, Commissioner Brown.
No report.
Ethics, Commissioner Dow.
No report.
Finance, Commissioner Costley.
Finance Committee met Monday, May the 15th at 5:45 in the upstairs conference room. Minutes in your packet. Move they be received and filed.
I got a motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Health and Recreation, Commissioner Smith.
No report.
Insurance, Commissioner McFarland.
No report.
Judicial, Commissioner Gentry.
Judicial met this evening. The minutes will be in next month's packet.
Planning and Zoning, Commissioner McFarland.
There are 2 sets of minutes in your packet, May 11th at 5 p.m. and May 24th at 5 p.m. I move that both be received and filed.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Rules, Commissioner Key.
No report.
Urban Type Facility Board, Commissioner Scruggs.
Urban Type Facility Board met June the 2nd. The minutes are in your packet, being received and filed.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. And opposed? Finance Director's report, Mr. Aaron Maynard. Ms. Sarah Davenport reminded me to talk about 3-star, so I've done my duty for tonight.
She must have ESPN. She knew what I was thinking. One thing we have to do is talk about the debt management policy every year in conjunction with our 3-star certification. So the debt management policy is, yes, it's on file in my office, but it is public record, and you are more than welcome to have a copy of the debt management policy if you want it. All you need to do is email me. I'll be more than happy for you to have it. It's not private. What it basically says is that any debt that we issue in this county, as required by state law, will be approved by this body. If you'll notice, one common occurrence of that lately, you've been approving a lot of copier contracts. That's because the powers that be, the Government Accounting Standards Board, no longer considers a capital lease to be a lease. They now consider that to be debt. So you're approving all these leases, because you have to approve all the debt. That debt management policy goes on to say we will seek out the best rate, whether that's by competitive bid, which it usually is. We will get approval from the state of Tennessee, and we'll file our CT form, which also has a cash flow schedule on it, so that they can see, that we have sufficient resources to pay the debt. Again, anything that you want a copy of regarding that, I'm more than happy to provide. That, I think, is really all I'm required to cover. I did want to tell everybody, because it's just right afterwards, a belated Happy Father's Day. And the budget in your packet, probably one of the most difficult budgets we've ever put together, not because we had to have a lot of conversations about tax increases or whatever else. There's just a lot to it. So a lot in a short period of time. And I think it's a good budget, and I hope you will approve it. And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions for me.
Sure. Second. Motion is second. Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Maynard. Report from the Budget Committee. Commissioner Marlowe.
Budget Committee met May 16, 17, 25, 30, and June 8. All those minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Second. I got a motion second. Now discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Ready for resolution?
Resolution 23-6-3, amending Resolution 14-813 by rescinding the terms contained therein.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 23 yes, 1 no, 1 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-4, approving Wilson County Board of Education Budget Amendment 2023-14.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Weathers? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-5, approving a lease agreement for the Wilson County Drug Court.
Motion approved. Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Scruggs, Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Evans. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-6 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to veteran services and PEG.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-7 to reflect revenues received but not included in the original budget, and to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation into various line items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Glover? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-8 to reflect revenues received but not included in the original budget, and to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation into WEMA.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Now discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes. Hey,
Resolution 23.
hang on one second, I'm sorry. Aaron, Mike said he lost me. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Resolution 23-6-9 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make a line item transfer into planning.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record.
Antique system.
24-1, resolution passes.
Antique system.
Resolution 23-6-10 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make a line item transfer in the library.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Scruggs? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-11 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation from sanitation fund to landfill.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion now? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Mr. Dow, Commissioner Weathers? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-12 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to county mayor.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Thank you, Mr. Dow. My kids not going to have any Christmas this summer. I mean, this winter. There a motion to go out of session? Second? Hear a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Marlowe?
So we can do the budget resolutions last. I'm going to go ahead and do Resolution 23-6-15 at this time. And it's to amend the budget and appropriation resolution for this year to make line item transfer to circuit court.
Motion to approve. Second. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor? I'm sorry, no. Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Getting ahead of myself. Please cast your vote. Mr. Keith? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Resolution passes. I will say 23-6-16 was the rehab resolution. Wasn't a number on there, but Mr. Dowdy made me aware of that. And then at this time, before we start on the budget, if you are a member of the county government, it'd be time for you to declare. If somebody would like to. Commissioner Hall?
Pursuant to TCA 5-5-102, TCA 5-5-112, and TCA 12-4-101, I do hereby publicly acknowledge the following. Because I'm an employee of Wilson County Schools, I have a conflict of interest in the proposal about to be voted. However, I declare that my argument and my vote answer only to my conscience and to my obligation to my constituents and to the citizens this body represents.
Mr. Hall said that. If you're a county employee and would like to make the same statement, if you would please rise, acknowledging that you are on the same page that he is. So I have that's Commissioner Costa, Commissioner Scruggs, Commissioner Hobbs, Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Keith, and Commissioner Breeze, and Commissioner Hall. Does that cover them all? And Commissioner Rich? Nope. Clark. He's not. Commissioner Clark. Yeah, okay. Thank you all. Commissioner Marlowe.
Resolution 23-6-13. Be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that the combined property tax rate for Wilson County, Tennessee for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023 shall be 1.9089 on each $1 of taxable property.
Second. Discussion? Seeing none. Commissioner Breeze?
I think this is an appropriate time just to acknowledge all the conversation that happened before the meeting. And I just want teachers in Wilson County to know that you're heard. And the county is known for excellent public schools, so we need to figure out a way to get back to supporting schools as a community to maintain this excellent reputation. If it's money, I want to make sure we fund the right number and not a Band-Aid, which I'm not sure 5% is the right number. Fiscal 21 revenue was $156 million. 3 years later, in the budget we're about to pass this evening, fiscal year 24 is $209 million. So Wilson County Schools has had a 25% increase in funds in 3 years. Fiscal 24 budget is $31 million more than fiscal year 23. So the funds are coming. We don't have final TISA allocation numbers, as Mr. Luttrell also mentioned. So we're passing this budget on an estimate. We need firm numbers to be able to make decisions on the needs for additional revenue, and we won't get that until the end of June. Just for the public's information, BOE's job is policy, the superintendent's job is day-to-day operations, and the commission provides funds. So we all need to work within our respective duties to find solutions to the issues that have been brought up by our teachers. We need to compare our compensation packages as a whole, not just pay scale numbers. We also need to look at the cost of living for our county. Can teachers afford to rent a one-bedroom apartment in Wilson County? I don't know. We need this information. So, point, I don't think we actually have a solution tonight, but I'm hoping that by working together, we'll find a solution to ensure that Wilson County continues to be known for excellent public schools.
Any other comments? Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Scruggs, Commissioner Costa. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 24 yes, 1 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 23-6-14. Be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that the amounts hereafter, set out are hereby appropriated for the purposes of meeting the expenses of the various funds, departments, institutions, offices, and agencies of Wilson County, Tennessee, year beginning July 1 to June 30, 2024.
Second. Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner, all hearts and minds good with the vote? Please record. 24-1, resolution passes. Do we have a motion to go back into session?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any old business to come before this body? I will say that the Speedway had given me some tickets for you guys. I texted most of y'all. If you want any Speedway tickets for Friday night at 7 or on Saturday at 2:30, I have some. Please see me when you leave, or some of your family members. I can help you with that. Any other new business to come before the body?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.